Hello and welcome to the CCTV American News Hour. I'm Mike Walter. A mission to space that was to last days ends in seconds. The U.S. mission to resupply the International Space Station began as a rare night launch. Take a look.
3, 2, 1. And we have liftoff of Antares, the Orbital mission that brings Cygnus on its third CRS mission to the ISS. Got main engines at 108%.
Avionics power nominal.
We understand no one was hurt and the rocket was unmanned. Still, this is clearly a setback for NASA. CCTV's Nathan King joins us live now with a look at what happened. Nathan.
That's right, Mike. Still breaking news, and we're waiting for a NASA press conference at this hour, which we'll try and dip into. But what we can say is this Antares type of rocket being launched from Virginia on the east coast of the United States did indeed explode. NASA called it a vehicle anomaly, and obviously something went very wrong. The blast could be heard and felt for up to 50 miles outside of where it was launched. It was actually meant to be lifted off on Monday, but the rocket's launch was scrubbed after a boat came too close into what's known as the hazard area. And that's what we have right now at the NASA facility at Wallops Island, Virginia, where this launch took place. Small fires all over the area you can see include nearby vehicles set ablaze and buildings as well by the rocket's explosion. The rocket was the size of about a 14-story building. It was a resupply mission that was sent to rendezvous with the International Space Station on the morning of November 2nd. There were also science experiments on board as well as food supplies for the astronauts. And just to give you a whole idea of the size of this thing, this rocket was actually a private rocket owned by a company called Orbital Sciences being launched from that site. This is obviously a big problem.
And a huge setback for the U.S. space program, correct?
Yeah, I mean, let's go back 3 years. Remember, that's when they scrapped the space shuttle program. And since then, there have been many cuts at the U.S. Space Agency, NASA, and interestingly, a move to contract out to the private sector missions like these that are just so spectacularly blown up. Now, earlier, we spoke to Leroy Chow, a former NASA astronaut, who says this is obviously a big setback.
Big issue here. We have not only have a rocket explode and the loss of all the payload. We're going to have to get to the fundamental cause of the problem before this provider of supplies to the International Space Station can launch again. And then there's the more immediate issue of, okay, now what are we going to do? We've lost these supplies and the crew on board, while not in immediate any kind of dire straits, but we're going to have to replace all the cargo that was lost and get it up there sooner rather than later.
So obviously that's going to be a big deal as well. Remember, NASA this is going to set back its program, and they're actually relying on the Russian at the moment to send U.S. astronauts into space when they need to. And of course, this comes, Mike, as India launched this really spectacular Mars mission on a shoestring. China, of course, has its first lunar module, so it's impossible not to make the international comparisons.
It's very interesting. Thanks so much, Nathan. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.